Welcome to 15K plus random movie reviews, where we take random movies from Metacritic's 15K plus movies to randomly watch whether we like it or not. Hello and welcome to episode 25 of 15K plus random movie reviews. This is Colin.
And this is Niall.
And this is random movie number 12,094 on Metacritic's new all-time movie list. It has a meta score of 54 and a user score of 81, which makes the people better than the critics when they think about this movie, obviously. The movie's name is Hidalgo. It's from 2004. It's directed by Joe Johnston, who won an Oscar for visual effects in Raiders of the Lost Ark. He also has directed a lot of movies: Captain America, First Avenger, Jurassic Park 3, excellent Jumanji, and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, which is a blast from the past. Also, he was the final designer of Yoda, Boba Fett, and most of the ships in Star Wars.
So this guy is awesome.
Yeah, he's pretty bloody cool, yeah. The writer of the movie is John Fusco, who I think he's done a lot of Western type movies, and obviously Young Guns with the 80s Brat Pack is probably up there as the most popular one of the movies he's done. This movie is based on the stories surrounding a character called Frank Hopkins, but you have done some sleuthing today.
I did, and it was, mostly around I seen the tagline based on a true story, and for some reason I went, wait a second, this feels a bit not true, so I did a bit of Googling, and it turns out, while this chap existed, and he died at the age he says he dies in the story, in the credits, and that he did like horses, that's about the only piece of factual evidence that could be found about this guy. He didn't ride with Wild Bill. There's no proof that he's half Indian. He didn't compete in a 3,000-mile Arabian horse race, because no such horse race ever actually existed. And he's a liar, pants on fire chap.
The entire movie at the end has all these factual post-credit things coming up going, Hidalgo's ancestors still live on in the mustangs of the Wild West.
Yeah, I'm calling BS on that one. There are multiple sources debunking pretty much everything. He wrote all this stuff about himself, so it's on record that this stuff happened. But the only record that this stuff happened is in his pen. So I think the biggest punch in the face to his stories is the fact that the Wild Bill Company, which was quite well documented, and all the main regulars of the show, and in fact everybody, even the people who were pegging the tents, they all got listed in the flyers I put out. Like there's a list of people who are involved in the show. His name doesn't feature once. Oh. In, I don't know, hundreds of shows that were put on. So, yeah. And if that piece is a lie, which it clearly is, doesn't look good for him.
All right, well, the whole movie is a lie, so that's the end of episode 25.
Bye!
See ya. Anyway, so yeah, the main plot is pretty much what you just said there. It's Frank Hopkins. He has a lovely horse called
the lovely horse.
Lovely horse with the man on his back with his fletlocks flowing.
He's always giving them sugar lumps and riding him over fences, I believe.
Yeah, and taking him to the horse dentist.
Okay. If you're not Irish, you probably won't get that.
It's Father Ted reference. Google it or YouTube it. It's quite funny. So the Hidalgo from the movie title is actually a horse. It's a Mustang, a lovely looking horse, to be honest with you. And
the best actor in the entire movie.
Yeah, so sprinkled throughout the entire movie, there's these close-up reaction shots of the horse's face, which turns out to be quite comedic in a sense.
It does.
And it's kind of amateurish. It's like the director was like going, all right, is this how you do an animal movie? Do we actually treat them like a actor, and like we see them looking with their googly horse eyes at the camera? It's sort of weird throughout the movie, and it's a little bit off-putting and a bit just, I don't know, it doesn't work very well.
I'm wondering how the director explained the horse's motivation to him before the scene.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's weird as well. Sometimes the Hidalgo is portrayed as this uber smart, just, you know, he whistles and he'll drag you, you know, backwards, and, you know, it's sort of like it's this
a bit Mr. Ed.
Yeah, kind of Mr. Edish in a couple of scenes. Like, if you're going to go that far, then go that far. Don't have it in the middle somewhere. Anyway, the plot in a nutshell: Frank Hopkins has a horse called Hidalgo, who's an excellent long distance runner. Mustang Sally, and so we see at the start of the movie he's in this horse race and he wins, and he's in the bar, and the guy says something derogatory about his horse, and he punches him in the nose. He says, "Don't diss my horse."
Oh yeah, he said, you can insult me, but don't insult my horse.
Yeah, so we get the relationship straight off the bat with Frank and Hidalgo, and yeah, you know, soon after there's a bit of a massacre at a Native American camp, and this is setting up the backstory of him, and he's half Native American, so they say, and you know, then he's in the whole Buffalo Bill sideshow as well, with J.K. Simmons playing. Buffalo
Actually, sorry,
Bill.
That's my favorite actor in the whole movie, not the horse. I just adore J.K. Simmons and everything he does.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a facial hair implant for this one, but yeah, he's good. So anyway, to cut a long story short, a bunch of sheikhs come in and go, "Yo, we hear you're pretty good, so I want to come over."
I love your Arabic accent.
Yeah.
Yo.
So
I like your horse, mofo. Let's do this.
Trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is after, like, you know, Frank is drunk and he's
yeah. We're about 40 minutes into this, really, like, or half an hour at this point, and he's a mess. He's a drunken. He's got PTSD, I guess, after witnessing the massacre of his people, but pretending not to be part of the tribe and all that jazz.
Yeah. What does the because my subtitles weren't working for the first scene. Like, before he makes the decision to go, before his crew give him the money to actually go over to the Middle East and do this race, what does the Native American chief say to him in the tent the night before? Do you remember?
Oh yeah, basically, you know, I don't think it's right that both of us died doing this show. I think you get out there, and you and the horse can win this, and maybe you can make a difference for the people. Okay,
that makes sense. So off he goes. Then he gets the money, and he's. I like the scene going out of New York, because the Statue of Liberty hasn't got the green patina yet. It's still bronze or copper, whatever, fresh from the factory in Paris. And so, there's a stupid scene in the boat when these bunch of idiots are bullying Hidalgo, and you're like, what the hell are you bullying him for? I think they're just there to reinforce the fact he likes his horse. Yeah, he gives them a couple of knuckle sandwiches, and we meet... Fisticuffs are flying. Yeah, we meet Lady Anne Davenport, who comes down with her helper and goes, "Yo," again, with the accent. It's a very common accent. Step off that man's horse, mofos. Yeah. So she has a little meeting with him, and she's kind of intrigued with him. I didn't know at this point, is this going to be a romantic interest? But we'll see later on that nothing happens. So he lands in Middle East, and he sees a bunch of slaves, and that kind of gets him connecting with the Native Americans back at home. And that scene where he's looking on at he's almost appalled by the slave trade. Yeah, it kind of gets a bit weird when later on he's an absolute hypocrite about the whole thing. But we'll talk about that later on. Okay. Then he has he's got his intro to Sheikh Riyadh Omar Sharif, and he's good. He's Omar Sharif. He's Omar Sharif. Kind of phoning it in a little bit for a bit of a paycheck. He's still good. He's got presence about him. Yeah, he definitely has presence, but I just didn't find their initial meeting anyway magnetic. Really? No, there's no chemistry there, and I don't get it, to be honest. I did like him calling him an infidel, which I appreciate. Yeah, he's he meets with him, and before this, we see the daughter, Jazeera, and she's like going, "Oh, I want to ride a horse and stuff like that." I say, "No, you're female.
No horses for you."
No, you do what you do in this culture that we have." Yeah, it's pretty mad. There's a bit of the daughter is lucking in, and Omar's going, "Yeah, don't mind her. It's a female." And then, yeah, Viggo and Lady Anne Davenport meet again, and you get a little bit more of the relationship there. She's kind of trying to figure him out and what he's in it for, and
yeah,
the race starts. And
now, just before that, I want to point out one scene that just to rewind back to my comment about the slavery.
Yeah.
Just before the race starts, he meets his assistant, who's a goat herder chap. But then, he buys a slave, a little slave kid, and then he's ordering him about the place.
Yeah, and he runs away.
But then he comes back. He's like, nowhere to go. Yeah. I suppose I work for you now.
I'm in the middle of a desert here. I don't have a lot of choice here. Yeah, I thought his assistant, I can't remember the character's name, I thought he just wasn't as interesting as he should have been or could have been.
Men go mad! Men go mad! Okay. Go look at some goats, you crazy old man.
Yeah, like he could have been a lot more interesting. Obviously, he's sort of pointed in the direction to be this wacky side character, but he's kind of barely in the movie, to be honest with you.
He's incidental.
He's incidental, yeah.
Pointless.
The race starts, and off they set. And before they start, there's one of the infamous Hidalgo close-ups with his googly eyes, just ready and waiting. It's just like,
yeah. He's like, I got this.
Yeah,
I got this shizzle. This is mine.
Yeah, he's got the look in his eyes, and it's like, all right, these close-ups are weird. They're getting weird. They're trying to put a character into a horse's face. It's just not working.
No, it's just a horse.
No.
He doesn't know what's going on around him. Why am I here?
Yeah.
Where's my paycheck?
Yeah. So they steam off, and somebody dies pretty much straight away on the first day, and yeah, he gets called an infidel, and he says, "Don't help him" or something. Like the guy, what does his horse break a leg or something? And then.
So he'd have to walk back, and in fairness, this is at the start, so he's probably fine. Horse, not so much.
No, the horse is dead.
Oh, he knifes the horse, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He skewers him through the heart with his dagger.
Yeah, and then he hitches a ride home, I'm guessing. Fine.
Or dies.
Or dies. Most likely dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first night is over. He plays a harmonica, and they go, "Yo, shut the hell up."
Midnight at the Oasis is what I wrote down here.
Midnight at the Oasis.
Thank you.
They're like going, "Listen, shut the hell up with your mouth organ," and
Well, what I found was everybody around him who was slagging him off and telling me he's going to die, they all had amazing English for the time.
Yeah, they're all very well versed in the Queen's English.
Yeah,
probably would have been Queen Victoria, wouldn't it be? This was based in 1904 or something. I can't remember
something like that.
years.
Yeah. Teddy Roosevelt time.
Back to the wind on the line. Yeah. Actually, no. This must not be. It must be late 1890s or something. Maybe, I don't know. It never mentions the year. Never bothers.
I wrote it down somewhere and I can't see it now. So,
okay. Yeah. So we get on to the second day, and this guy, one of the sneaky competitors, is like. There's for some strange reason, a bunch of English guys are in charge of a well in the middle of a desert.
Because that happens all the time.
Well,
I think there were British soldiers just sitting around a well because they guard wells.
Yeah, that's what colonialists do, whatever country we're meant to be in, they're just taking charge of all the raw materials. And so this sneaky twat, he gives money to the water quality fellows. And
that's not a way to speak of the prince.
No, then Frank Hopkins comes along and he goes, "Yo, no water here, piss off." And so Frank does a nice little cheeky...
have a tent on your face, buddy.
Yeah, have a tent on your face. I'm grabbing this bag of water and off we go. And
it doesn't last well for him though, because it's 13 seconds later, is a humongous sandstorm just barrels down upon him. Him and the horse do a legger into a little cityscape that's just nicely placed. They can hide behind a wall. Unfortunately, the goat skin they grabbed that's full of water, it wasn't sealed properly, so it's a big lump of mud. It is.
Yeah, but I just found the timing of those two action scenes very close together and just very weirdly spaced.
It's kind of annoying because there's vast swathes of this movie where sod all happens, and it's just, look at this scenery, there's some people on horses, over there. A lot of that happens, and then loads of stuff happens in about 10 seconds, and then it goes back to sod all things happening.
Yeah, so that's there's the sandstorm happens, and that whatever, and then there's just a couple of montages. It reminded me of The Wind and the Line, because then there's montages of just going through deserts on a horseback. It's like, oh, come on, cut a few scenes out. So then they get
beautiful sunsets, beautiful mornings, horses going in front of the sun. Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, very, very much. As you said, scenes for the sake of pointing out the beauty of the land at certain points of the day. Yeah,
like bread and butter scenery. It wasn't like Lord of the Rings scenery. No. So it gets to the halfway point of the race, and it's the evil nephew. What is it? The brother is it's his nephew, right? That comes in. Omar Sharif's nephew comes in, has a little chat with him, saying, "Hey, can I have all the horses, please?" He's like, "No."
And Omar's like, no, jog on, buddy.
No, thanks. No, I'm okay. You can piss off. He's like, oh, he's got that evil look about him. So,
how's your health, cousin?
Yeah, is it cousin or uncle?
I don't know. Omar.
Yeah, how's the hell, Omar? They left that one in. They let that slip by the editing room. So anyway, then Frank Hopkins and Jazeera have a little. She comes in after him to his little area and goes,
naughty.
Would you like some dates? And he's like, oh, yes, please. And then their assistant, or let's say slave, comes looking for her, and he's
Jaffa,
and then he's going like, he opens the tent, and then for some reason Frank is like, oh, there's something dangerous coming in. I'll jump on top of you, Jazeera. And so then when the tent opens, it's like, oh, what infidel is on top of the sheikh's daughter? So let's castrate him, please.
Well, you kind of had, you don't jump on top of somebody. Just, I'll protect you. Grope. Yeah, it didn't look good from at this point.
No.
Especially when the man goes to his kit, his little tool set.
Yeah, he had a kit out. He got his kit out. To
That's
get his kit off.
How would you say? When you have getting your kit off with his daughter, then, he gets his lads out with the kit. The big, shiny, sharp, pokey things that's going to go near your groin.
Yeah. But for some reason, he staves off the castration with Tales of the Wild West, and
Yeah, he mentions Wild Bill, and that saves his gonads.
Yeah, because Sheikh Riyad's a big fan of the Wild West. He reads these English comics for some reason in between scenes. But then, the attack.
Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah.
The Tuscan Raiders approach.
The Tuscan Raiders approach then, and they pillage through the entire thing and kidnap Jazeera, and the Sheikh's assistant is spotted by Frank stealing his breeding book.
There was some good decapitation as well here.
Yes.
By Omar. I thought that was a nice tie-in back a couple of movies ago. Chop. I may be in my 60s, but I can still chop people's heads off.
Yeah, he did well. And that's two movies in a row now that we've seen chopped heads. Yeah.
No, nobody's head got chopped off in The Servant that I can remember.
Oh yeah, sorry, it wasn't in a row. It was 2 episodes ago. Barrett. No. All right, so then basically it's a trope. It's like, hey, you get my daughter back, and I'll let you go. I'll let you have all your body parts intact, and so. They have this little scene where they just go, and it's not really that crazy of an adventurous scene.
To be honest, it's a super formulaic, you have to go save this damsel in distress. It's...
Yeah, he, the evil uncle or cousin, whatever he is, he gets speared in the hand or something by Frankie Boy, and... Jaffa gets killed, and then they're on
not before he skewers the what did they call the deputy who betrayed Omar.
Yeah. Then obviously, on the way back, she takes her veil off for Frank. Just
this scene annoys the pants off me. What she says to him? Oh yes, I wish you to look at me. Now, if I'm Frank at this point, and I'm thinking, I've just saved my testicles. Get your veil back on, woman.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Actually,
No way. You just stop looking at me. Feck off.
Yeah,
Get
leave me
you home
alone.
and that's it.
yeah, get home, get to bed, get your
Shut
cocoa.
up.
Yeah, just leave me alone. Yeah, so they head back, and Sheikh's happy, and now we've got Lady Anne Davenport.
Ms. Lady Davenport. What I noticed in this scene, actually, again, it was like, wait a second, is that a 4-poster bed she's been carrying around the sand ocean?
Of course,
That seems a bit extreme for our servants, I guess.
no way. No, that's the luxury for them, and they need that in the desert. Desert
absolutely.
heat. So she tries to bribe Frank, say, "Listen, hey, give up, and I'll give you whatever."
30% of the race prize, I think, and it seemed like she was also offering some sexy times.
Oh yeah. But Frank's not having any of that. He's got his own only love, and that's
Aragon don't work that way, buddy.
no. He loves Hidalgo, and that's it.
Yep. A little bit too much.
So then, but actually, he goes to bed thinking, I actually might take the money. He wakes up, Hidalgo's gone, and Hidalgo's at the fucking starting line, and he looks back and gives the camera a wink and goes, "Let's go."
We got this.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And then next scene, I have written down here: the naughty lads intercept the caravan of Lady Davenport. But are they naughty to Davenport? No. Turns out she's the naughty one.
She is very naughty. I wrote down evil lady. She's an evil lady.
Evil lady. Yeah, so, she's been paying the naughty lads, aka Omar's nephew, to do all the nasty things, and so that she can win the race and win the seed of the horses, so that she can brew her own brand of horses.
Yeah, so like this is the last third of the movie. It goes on for a long time, and it's just
it drags.
Yeah, it's like a quick. Everything really is just squeezed into the last third. So I've a locust storm happens, and they can eat the locust. That's fine. That was foreshadowed by Jazeera saying the locusts aren't a plague; they're a gift from above. So he's like going, "Oh," and he bites into one of the heads of the locust and goes, "Yeah, that's pretty good," and then feeds it to Hidalgo. But anyway, like I don't really want to go through every scene here.
There's another Tuscan Raider bit here. We should probably mention the quicksand.
The quicksand rescue is pretty okay.
Yeah. So this is basically one of the lads. The lad who was saying, "Don't be helping anybody on this race course." Because it's Allah's will.
Birdman
with his shite hawk. He falls in to quicksand and he's like, I'm screwed. And he's there a few hours when Hidalgo and Frankie Boy turns up, and he's like, no, don't help me. Just shoot me. But Frank's like, no. He chucks a rope around him, drags him out, and goes, now, whatever you want to do after this is up to you. Yeah, that comes in useful in a few minutes.
Yeah, I thought he was
because of the next Tuscan Raiders scene.
Yeah, I thought he had killed himself until he comes back. So there's an ambush. Basically, it's the evil uncle again. There's a pit trap out of nowhere, so that's quite unfortunate.
Catch the pigeon style.
Yeah, catch the pigeon style or Wile E. Coyote style.
Yeah.
Acme pit trap. Yeah, Hidalgo I thought Hidalgo was done for here. He gets a spear through his.
Yeah, I don't know much about horse anatomy, but skewering a horse, horses wouldn't be the most robust in this nature. I wouldn't have thought.
No.
He's already covered 2,500 or 2,700 miles at this point, so he's already screwed. He's basically lame. He was about to die, I thought.
Yeah,
at this point, prior to being skewered in a spike trap.
Yeah.
But then he's fine again after this. So yeah, okay.
Birdman to the rescue.
Birdman to the rescue. Turns up, chokes a rope into the pit of doom, and drags him and his horsey out. And
then don't forget, there's 2 cheetahs been set free as well.
Like I just don't get that bit. Like, you've got guns. Use the bloody guns. Shoot them.
Yeah. And then of course he repeats his line, "Nobody hurts my horse." Yeah. And he
he drops the leader of the naughty boys into another pit trap.
Yeah. And then Hidalgo falls again. Gee, it just goes on forever. There's like so much pain and misery in these last third of the movie. Like it's just a montage of just walking, and Hidalgo falls, and he gets an Indian mirage, and then, I don't want to insult people who say Indian. I mean Native American mirage, and or hallucination. That's kind of
he sees his mum, I think, as well. He sees himself as a child, and. He's pretty messed up at this point.
Yeah, and then one of the competitors goes, "Yo, that's the ocean over there." So that's
you suck. I'm the prince. Woohoo!
And then Hidalgo gets up and goes, "Let's roll, Frankie."
10 seconds ago, dead.
10 seconds ago, yeah. 10 seconds ago, he's a horse kebab. He's like lasagna in the UK a couple of years ago. He's dead. He can't get up. He's like, "Oh, I'm dead horse." Sees his friend getting insulted. Goes, "Oh, I feel great now. Let's win." So it's a 3-horse race then, and this is the last push, to finish the bloody movie. It's just felt like it's been going on forever.
Not the last push not pushing the race. It's the movie finishing. Getting through this last bit. It was rough.
Yeah, it's like a 2-hour, 6-minute movie, I think, from what I remember.
Knock it back to an hour 20 and it would have been a much better movie, I think.
I think so. It's got the guts of a good movie. It just drags on. Actually. It's got nice characters. The horse is cool looking. Few too many horse face reaction things, but I think it was fine. The 3-horse race was shot fine. It was okay. It's whatever. Obviously, Hidalgo comes out of nowhere to win, and
of course,
there's a whole scene of goodbyes. And here, have my colt, Sheikh Riyadh. Have my colt gun.
Well, actually, before we go a little bit further, after the race is finished, instead of getting off the horse, getting something to drink for you and the horse, because you dearly need it, because you're dead, effectively. You decide to prance about in the ocean, water you cannot drink. That annoyed the crap out of me. Just give the horse some water, you a-hole.
I know, I felt the same. I was like, what the hell? Just get it to sit down, pour some water over it, have a drink, and celebrate later.
Yeah.
So anyway, he gets back to America. Listen, there's goodbyes to everybody there. It wasn't really that emotional. Like he said goodbye to Jazeera.
It blasts through that scene. It just goes, jog on.
Yeah, Jazeera. It wasn't emotional because nothing really happened between them. So he's back, and he's like, he goes back to the scene, and there's some soldiers. They're going to kill all these Mustangs, and he's going.
They've rounded all the Mustangs up and going to kill them because nobody wants to buy them.
Yeah, so he's going here. There you go. I'm buying them all.
Bag of money. Give me those horses.
Yeah.
At this point, I'd like to point out, he didn't free his own slave.
You never know. Why? How do you know? How do you not know?
Well,
the slave was laughing.
Scene.
The slave
was laughing, and then what? What happens to the slave? He doesn't bring him to America.
No, it's a shame he wasn't on the back of the horse with him.
Yeah, he clearly didn't get an F. He's like, I like these horses, so I'll free them. But the slave,
Yeah, I didn't think about that. The poor little kid. He's like back over there with the weird assistant dude.
Yeah, who wants to hang out with the goat herder?
No. Yeah, that's a shame. Yeah, I don't like Frank Hopkins anymore. Anyway, he's sitting there overlooking the view of all these horses, which is well filmed. It's well shot, the horses. Yeah. And then he suddenly just takes Hidalgo's saddle off and goes, "Yo, get the hell out of here. Join your people." Hidalgo has one last face look back to the camera.
Yeah. Get out of here, you stupid horse. I never liked you.
Yeah. We've been through a lot, but see you later. And that's the end.
Yes.
What would you give it out of 5?
Oh, we're going to break it down by bits and pieces. Acting.
Plot.
Plot diminishes heavily because of the tagline based on the true story, and it being an absolute fabrication. 2.
Yeah,
I'm being generous.
Yeah, I went 2 as well. What about acting? So we've got Viggo Mortensen, obviously. This was released a year after the last Lord of the Rings movie. We've got Zuleika Robinson, who plays Jazeera. She was in Lost. She played Ilana in Lost. I had to look it up and go, oh yeah, Ilana. We had Omar Sharif, obviously, won an Oscar for Lawrence of Arabia. We've got Louise Lombard, who plays Lady Anne Davenport. She was in CSI a lot, and she was also in Oppenheimer. And yeah, that's pretty much the mainstay, and they're all fine. I gave it an average 2.5, nothing crazy.
2. I liked Viggo Mortensen in Lord of the Rings, and this he's a lump of cardboard with no expression. The horse beats him. I don't mean that as an insult to Viggo. The horse is better than Viggo.
That's what I gave the 0.5 for, the horse.
Okay. I give it a 2. Maybe I should have given it a 2.5 for the horsey. Yeah, it's not easy for a horsey to act.
No, like there was like maybe 5 or 6 close-up facial reactions of the horse. That's 0.1 for each one of them.
Yeah.
Sound brackets track was it was composed by James Newton Howard. He was the composer for this thing. He's done loads of stuff. He's done Hunger Games. He composed the ER TV theme music, Dark Knight Batman movie. But this was not good. It was just your typical sort of adventure music fare, you know. It's like plenty of horns, phoned it in, lots of epic sound, but not memorable at all. I gave it 1 out of 5 for sound brackets track.
I give it 1.75. It's serviceable. It doesn't like there's no scene where the footsteps annoy you in this, is there?
No.
It's too much sand.
I was fine. Yes, it softens the blow. Yeah.
Yeah, 1.75. Listen, it's not terrible. It's not good.
Yeah, and production, you know, it's pretty epic scale. It's nice looking. It's quite well done. I gave it 2.25 out of 5. I thought the scenery was well shot. I thought the costumes were fine. The horse scene at the end when he releases all the horses must have been a nightmare to shoot, and I have to give them props for that because it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I went with 2.5 myself. Like there's a lot in this that needed producing. The scene at the end with all the horses is quite good, but I think there's too much production, if you will. I think it needed to be edited down. It needed to be shorter, and as we said earlier, that would have made it a much more palatable movie and much more enjoyable. It didn't need to be epic. Right.
Yeah. So so that's Hidalgo. Like it was long, but it wasn't like crazy bad.
Yeah. A good movie that will be forgotten pretty quickly, I think.
Yeah. I think obviously they're like, you can just picture the Hollywood studio going, listen, Viggo's straight off this. He was on a horse there. Let's put him back on a horse. Let's adapt this story. Yeah. So I think it made like 8 million profit or something. I think it was, from what I remember, its budget was 100 million or something, and it brought in 108 million or something.
That's not great considering Viggo Mortensen, just as you said, just off the back of LOTR.
Yeah. Phil Hall in Film Threat gave it 30 out of 100. He said, nothing more than a big old chunk of horse poop.
Well, I don't really agree with him being that bad. That is a great read on the movie, like a great definition of a movie. Yeah.
Just to go up one more, so it's not just a horse poop quote. The Washington Post, Desmond Thompson said it was 30 out of 100 too. They said, if it weren't for Sharif's extraordinary presence, there wouldn't be a cherishable moment in the movie. I don't really agree that all the scenes are cherishable, but he's good. He's good, but they're again, they feel incidental. Yeah, he doesn't really have that much of a part to play, and the script doesn't really give him that part to play either. William Arnold in the Seattle Post-Intelligencer gave the movie 75 out of 100. They said, it's mostly quite enjoyable. Director Joe Johnston's many action sequences are lively and engaging. The location photography, mostly Morocco, was breathtaking, and both the horse and Sharif in his biggest Hollywood role in years are adorable, which I don't think Mr. Sharif would be happy with being called adorable. No, it's not really what he's going for. The horse might enjoy it, but yeah, not Omar. I think Hidalgo is adorable, and he's the close-up scenes are pretty weird. He's a big dog. That's what he is. Yeah, he's a nice character, but yeah, it felt a bit weird. I don't think the director knew what to do with the horse to show emotions or characteristics of a horse. Yeah, it's not really in keeping as well with the not the theme, but the vibe of the movie. You know, as you said, it's a bit comedic. Doesn't really play with the rest of the movie. Yeah. All right, we'll leave Hidalgo there in the dunes of Morocco, and we'll randomize for our next roll of the dice. And here we go. We are getting movie 5,223.
Ooh.
Okay, so movie 5,223 is a movie called Save the Green Planet! Exclamation point. No colon in it.
Well, yeah.
The summary.
You're not gonna save the planet with colons.
No. The summary is Save the Green Planet is a tilt-a-whirl genre blender from Korea that turns film history against itself to create one of the most savage, affecting, and inspired anti-violence movies ever made. This is a movie that defies all marketing labels and exactly what it wants it to be, like nothing you've ever seen before. So that's something to keep us interested. It's got a Metascore of 70, but a user score of 5.0, so maybe it's...
Oh, okay, so it might be a fan of the critics, and humans don't like it, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that I'm saying the critics aren't human.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. Another foreign movie for us to go through, and hopefully we can find it online somewhere, which is always a worry.
Oh, so what year was that released?
It's released 2005.
Ah, okay, cool.
It's 1 hour and 58 minutes again. It's touching that 2 hour bloody time frame again. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, that will do it for episode 25 of 15K Plus Random Movie Reviews. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, do all that sort of stuff on the platform that you're listening to us on. And we'll see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.